In the stimulus, we can see that a soul is emerging from a physical body. This raises the issue of the soul and body theory and how they relate to the topic of personal identity. This is a basis of philosophical concepts such as dualism that require a person being made up of two fundamental components, mind and matter. In this essay, we will discuss the possibility of personal identity being primarily dependent on the body, and then discuss the possibility of personal identity being primarily dependent on the soul. The soul theory links personal identity to an enduring entity, which is a soul. It argues that the same soul equals to the same person, and that even if the brain and heart stop, the soul will continue to exist. This explains life after death, thus interlinking with religion very well. The soul theory links to Plato's concept of the soul, and its yearning to be released from the imperfect physical body into the perfect physical realm of forms and ideas. Plato also believed that the body is perceptible and perishable, while the mind and soul is intelligible and indestructible.
Some strengths for the soul theory are the following. The cycle of opposites. We know things by their opposites. Death must come from life and life from death. This suggests a perpetual recycling of human souls from the realm of the living to the realm of the dead, and back. It also provides a better afterlife experience. For example, people doing good deeds in their lives will be offered to go to heaven. It can also support dualism, your soul is eternal, and the belief that your memory lives on with your soul. Some religions believe that your memory will stay on in your afterlife and will never be scrapped, but however your body will. Therefore your soul consists of the memories. The body theory focuses on personal identity revolving around the existence of a personal body, and that symbolizing and individualizing the personality of people. The body theory also shows some relation towards the mind being placed in our bodies, therefore the bodies make our personal identities. We believe in the afterlife, both the body and the mind will be destroyed.
The body theory is the most intuitive theory as it is most compatible with common sense. It argues that the same body equals to the same person, and that although changes take place, these changes originate from the body, numerically dealing with the same physical being. Aristotle stated substance is the same substance if it is made up with the same matter. This relates to thesis' paradox, which is a thought experiment that raises the question of whether or not an object which is at all its components replaced remains fundamentally the same object. This idea can also be used within the context of our body, since our body regenerates itself. So there are several obvious flaws within this theory that Kira will now further explain.
One strength that we can identify with the body theory is the fact that there are scientific resources that help determine the specific DNA of every person. Each person has different DNA, therefore individualizing us and differentiating us from any other person. Linking to the next strength of the body theory, which is the technology of DNA testing. With this technology, we can determine a person's identity by a fingerprint and blood tests. Differentiate a criminal to an innocent person with evidence of blood or fingerprint. Furthermore, another strength to the body theory is that it is most compatible with science and common sense. Every individual recognizes family, friends, people they have seen before by the way they look and their physical appearance. Disadvantages to the body theory. A disadvantage of the body theory is that if we come across a case of cloning, there is no way to determine who came first, and the scientific aspect of the body theory can no longer be used as a strength, as we cannot differentiate between clones. Another disadvantage of the body theory is the fact that some people may have prosthetic limbs, linking also to the idea of plastic surgery. When do we draw the line at someone not being themselves anymore? If people have prosthetic limbs, are they still the same person? If people get a nose job, are they still the same person? These questions raise weaknesses in the theory which we have to take into account. Furthermore, another weakness to the body theory is the natural defect in bodies, aging. Every 7 years, a body is entirely regenerated. All cells die off and are replaced, or have died off and do not get replaced. Our whole physical body changes completely within the time span of 7 years, except one part of our eyes that stays the same. Does this mean that every 7 years we are a completely different person? In conclusion, both approaches have strengths and weaknesses. However, the body theory can be backed up with science due to the technology of the 21st century, being able to have DNA tests and prove that the body theory is more reliable than the soul theory. Personally, we believe that the body theory is more realistic and believable, as the soul theory has no concrete evidence to back up the beliefs, while the body theory does.